Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our call today. This is Ray Norwood, and I'm here with Ray Mercedes from Pattern Group and Marc Phillips from SearchForecast. Hello, gentlemen.
Good morning, Ray.
Hello, Raymond. How you doing?
Why don't we do some real quick introductions? Marc, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and SearchForecast real quick.
My name is Marc Phillips, everyone. I run SearchForecast. We are a boutique content and website optimization company. We've been around 15 years and implemented across 300 plus websites, different content development and optimization techniques. Panasonic was one of our clients, and Ray Mercedes, while he was at Panasonic, commissioned SearchForecast to optimize Panasonic Cloud's website, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today.
Thanks, Marc. And Ray Mercedes, how about you introduce Pattern Group as well, and then also explain your role at Panasonic?
Absolutely. Thank you, Raymond. Yep, my name is Ray Mercedes. I am the Managing Director at Pattern Group. Pattern Group is focused on launching products and services for companies, foreign or domestic, and doing so in a lean and very cost-sensitive environment, understanding that keywords and driving traffic through the web is the cornerstone of our business structure. While at Panasonic, I was the Director of Product Management and responsible for all cloud-related initiatives, launched the first self-service cloud platform at Panasonic in the U.S. We were able to deploy units via third-party partners and also via our website, and have people just log on to the site and enter some information, and they had a phone system. That's pretty much that.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Ray. And so that there was a challenge in that product launch, in the sense that it was the first ever of its kind in the very small business range. So what we were able to do there, we have here in a case study that we're calling From Keyword to Close. And we are going to look at the background of the Panasonic Cloud, which Ray just briefly described. We'll discuss how we launched and optimized the website, the integration of outbound sales, call center with the website and the website lead. And we're going to discuss some of the lessons we learned, the performance metrics, and we're going to drill into what we call keyword to close methodology, and we're going to show how that works and how it's very important from the beginning to the end, the T to the green. These are some of the many clients from SearchForecast since 2002. There's been hundreds of them, primarily B2B, but some B2C. And you can see some very high-end accounts there. And the Panasonic Cloud was again, it was a voice over IP phone system for the VSBs and SMBs, and we're going to go through that starting now.
Excellent. So at Panasonic, we were tasked with the challenge to revolutionize just the way that Panasonic was interacting with SMBs. We saw an opportunity in an untapped market with huge growth potential. So we started designing products and services around the SMB market and looking for innovative strategies to bring those products to market. In this case, with Panasonic Cloud, we were able to take Panasonic's 100-year-old technology, phones, and put some neat software in the cloud and bring to customers pretty much a phone system in a box, right? So some of the initial challenges we had from a product management perspective and from an engineering perspective was we were so boggled down in the product and, you know, the terminologies that were prevalent to the product as we were developing it. We really thought that that was the easiest way to communicate the product to a customer. And thanks to SearchForecast and a lot of the assistance for Raymond Norwood, we were able to develop strategic keywords based on conversations that Raymond Norwood was having with prospects and understanding how prospects saw the platform. And we were able to take those keywords and embed those keywords, or Marc's team was able to embed those keywords into our SEO strategy and really move forward our search results and provide customers with a better experience. From a product management perspective and from an engineering perspective, getting this market feedback real time and being able to be part of a constant feedback loop with people who weren't part of the day-to-day of our internal Panasonic operations was key and paramount for us to launch the product in a successful way.
Right. So just to reinforce what he said there, we were able to coordinate the product team, product management with the product engineers. We were able to give real-time feedback through those channels with customer feedback, getting that feedback directly to engineers, and that we're able to adapt the product very quickly. We are able to get feedback also from SearchForecast and Marc Phillips on the SEO side. And a lot of times what we see is that our clients will be they'll be too close to the product or service. So they'll begin to use terms that aren't necessarily related to what people are searching for, which Marc will get into in just a minute. And let me just get to the next slide here. So with the work we were able to do as far as speaking to the customers, we were able to get feedback very quickly on what the value add that the product had and what problems that this product was solving. A lot of that had to do with competition. So, for instance, some of the competitors had particular problems, and that was very helpful in getting that feedback. And so we were able to get that, again, to the marketing team, which SearchForecast was a big part of, as this was a product that people searched for online, and then, again, as it was able to be purchased online. Also, and Marc will get into this later, but we were able to improve the quality of the leads, and almost everything that was coming in was a qualified buyer. So again, this was the first ever self-activated. We also handled the activations. So on this slide here, you'll see how it was important that we had a call to action for a special or a promotional. The bundle was what you'll see on the left-hand side, which was the desktop and the handset. So that link led to a questionnaire that was then we followed up on. We discussed the product, the features, and the benefits, and we got them a quick quote. We were able to turn that around, submitted a purchase order to Panasonic, and activated that. And this slide is a little bit tangential, but we just wanted to point out that by speaking directly to the customers and understanding the market, we were able to see that that Signorama and other franchise organizations were a great target market, and so we specifically went after Signorama and a couple other target markets there, and actually that program led to a $20 million deal for Panasonic within the next year. Marc, if you could jump in now, we're at the website development and SEO, the work that SearchForecast did specifically.
Thanks, Ray. So SearchForecast was tasked with developing the website and making sure that the words that were included on the website were going to match the queries that customers, small businesses, were typing into Google. And that's often a mismatch. Large corporates will internally refer to products, acronyms, keywords that their broader customer base often don't use. And so our job was to synchronize, run search queries on external keyword reports, and make sure that the website was including these high volume relevant keywords that small businesses were searching. And so, part of it was matching the demand and the keyword queries that businesses would use in search engines like Google, and making sure that Panasonic Cloud website would come up. And so, a little bit more information on the scope of works. We would obviously prepare a keyword database. Those keywords would then be included across the website. We would also do other phases of analysis, and we often look at what the website needed to include in terms of meta tags, in terms of hrefs, keyword links, optimizing the right images, making sure that there was keyword density in the body copy. So we would write the copy in a friendly way that search engines would index. Just making sure that there was, video that was optimized, that it was compliant to social media, and all the templates that were in WordPress that the site was using as the content management system had the correct plugins. So it's that's the scope of work that SearchForecast was engaged to do by Panasonic.
So I just want to add too, and Ray, I'm sure you'll agree with this, the quality of a phased scope of work, which clearly lays out how the work is going to be done and at what phases. Didn't your people over at Panasonic appreciate that? And how did that benefit you as far as guiding your team through the process that we were doing, of the work we were doing, Ray?
That's a great question, Ray. First and foremost, Marc's educational process with a big corporation makes it real simple for people who are not subject matter experts in SEO, like a lot of the folks on our team didn't have expertise in this space. So the first phase of Marc educating our group on this, including marketing people, was tremendous in the value for us itself. You couldn't put a price tag on it. So from that perspective, being able to understand the process and understand how that phase approach was going to help us drive the results that we needed was very easy to understand and not technical at all from our perspective and people who weren't subject matter experts in this SEO space.
Yeah, and I think to your point, Ray, when you're dealing with people in Japan, in the United States, and business managers, they just want simple statistics and simple numbers. And this slide here looks at the column 2, the volume of keyword searches, and that's what you have to do with clients. You have to enumerate and quantify what the total potential lead generation is for particular keywords before you decide which keywords you're going to optimize the website on. So that was an important part of the educational process, and one that we always go through. Basically just building a prioritized list of keywords that we can use in the body content, in the copy, in the pay-per-click ads, in the social media campaigns. So that's really the phase one approach that we took, not just with Panasonic, but with all of our clients. Probably an adjunct to this is we always, once we've prioritized those keywords, we see using some positioning tools where those keywords come up in search engines, right? So we draw a line and say to clients, look, you're on page 3 of Google. It's going to be tough for you to get on page 1, or you're on page 2. It's reasonable to assume that if we build some more content, that we're going to get you up onto page 1 of the search engines, and therefore, positioning reports are an important part of that evaluation process.
Yeah, and I'd add too that this sort of sets expectations. So if somebody, if the client understands that they're on 2 and they can get to page 1, versus trying to get in a crowded field from page 5 to page 1. So I think it's also important to set reasonable expectations.
It is, because management just feel that there's a magic button that's pushed. Oh, we're doing search engine optimization, we're building a great website, and they type in a keyword into Google and say, we're not on page 1, why not? And it's a little harder than that. It's like most things, nothing comes easy. You've got to work on it. So, in our next phase, we ensure that we have the right meta tags and keywords in URLs. We prepare a list, almost like a sitemap of the entire site in an Excel spreadsheet, which is another way to think of it. It's like a table of contents, and we include in a very disciplined methodological approach keyword density across the meta tags that sit in the source code of the HTML and the URLs, which are key components and building blocks for a website to be optimized.
Yeah, and we've done this. This is a side case study as well, but SearchForecast did a huge job for the BBC and their iPlayer, which is just an example of.
Yeah, that's right, Ray. And in the red boxes, you'll see the top one is the title tag, and the keywords are in the URLs. I mean, our formulas run millions of TV shows and radio programs on their iPlayer, which is the BBC equivalent of Hulu here in the US. We also audit all of our client sites. It's a very clear, clinical, quantitative, measured approach that we take into corporates that have websites, and it gives us the opportunity to say to clients, look, there are certain things that you need to have on your website to rank highly in search engines, and if you don't have them, we're going to include them as part of our technical services implementation, which is what we did with Panasonic as well.
And to point out again, this is another example of reporting, and whether it's a multinational like Panasonic or a startup that's looking to see return on investment for their marketing spend, SearchForecast it goes a long way in providing reports that show where you started, where you're at 2 months down the road, 6 months down the road, and 12 months down the road. So we find these to be very helpful.
Yeah, I mean, to the point of return on investment, I mean, to any of the listeners of this web conference, I got to tell you that Panasonic was able to secure $20 million in unfound revenue based on these activities, right? So the great thing about SEO and the reports that Marc provided us with is we can gradually see that growth in site visits, converting those into sales. There's something actually great to showcase there to business managers, and really helps to tell the story from an SEO investment to management perspective.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. And I think that's, there's a lot of vendors that'll provide a lot of promises, and it's definitely an art and a science. And the black box of, search engine optimization should be broken down and demystified and made transparent for management. And, our sort of phased methodological approach, starting with keywords, sprinkling them across URLs, meta tags, content, ensuring that the site is visible and making sure that the relevant keywords are matched on site. So when, the sales teams get queries, they can convert. They have higher chances of conversion. So the top of the funnel is being loaded up with qualified leads that are relevant and not irrelevant. So I think that's really important when you get into the, when leads are pushed through web forms into call centers and outbound sales activities.
Absolutely. Can't agree with you more, Marc.
I think we just covered this on, the importance of reporting on a constant basis. But, we're very focused on the unique visitors, the increased time spent viewing, the number of, different referrers that drive traffic to the website, as well as increased positions of search terms that the website will appear in search results on. And that really gives us, that sort of ROI calculation. If a client had to, like Panasonic, pay Google or Bing for these search queries, what and the number of times that they appear, that's how we calculate the return on investment rate. And I just mentioned search engine marketing or cost per click advertising. I mean, that is really part of the search experience. I will say that, when users are in more exploratory information gathering parts of their buying cycle or their behavior, they're looking to assemble information to query about a particular product. And when people were looking at switching phone systems to Panasonic Cloud, that's exactly what they were doing. They weren't looking to buy, a VoIP phone system there and then. They were looking at the alternative to their existing, landline system. And so search engine optimization appearing on the left side of Google and Yahoo and Bing is capturing, business users that are looking and not ready to buy. And cost per click advertising, search engine marketing is all about capturing people that are ready to buy now. So they do coexist, they do cohabitate. It's important to do both. But it's also important to understand when one's more relevant than the other. And for new products that are being launched, for new concepts where businesses and business owners are going to, want to read about new products, new services, that's where search engine optimization is important, because the mindset that the frame of mind that the business owner in this case is in a non-buying and is in an information gathering mindset. Ray, do you have any comments on that?
No, not on that one, but with the next slide, I think that this is a very powerful slide, and this is basically a cut and paste from a project plan, and it gives an example of the thoroughness and the strategy. And one of the things that I find with customers and CEOs or chief marketing officers, one of the things I find is that they see this type of work as just a big ocean of water with all kinds of fish and mammals swimming around and plants growing in it, and it's hard for them to envision how this is going to lead to sales and how it's all going to happen. And so, Marc, if you could just explain the project plan here, and how it really relates to a client's understanding of the process and how it leads to sales ultimately.
Yeah, search forecast methodology and raison d'etre is to help websites appear on page one of search results of search engines. A lot of senior executives think, I'll spend X dollars on a brand new website, it'll look gorgeous and people will come to it, right? Build it and they'll come doesn't work in a world where there's thousands of websites. And so we take a very measured approach where we do the keyword analysis, we undertake audits, we provide instructional documentation during the build process, before and during the website is built. Although we do optimize websites after the website has been produced, in Panasonic's case, we were actually building the website intelligently with the right keywords as we went. And so there's two approaches to web development. Incorporating best practice search engine optimization, keyword architecture, keyword density, link density into the build itself, which is the correct way to do it. The incorrect, short-sighted way to do it is just build beautiful-looking websites that don't get indexed in search engines. And I think most of the listeners out there can draw on their own personal professional experience and think of websites that they've been involved with, directly or indirectly, and realize, we've spent a lot of money. Like, a rookie schoolboy mistake is just to spend a lot of money on a website that looks good that can't be found in Google. In Panasonic Cloud's case, we did it exactly the opposite way. We ensured that there was a project plan for search engine optimization that mirrored and complemented the production and the design, the development, and the release of the website.
Right, and I've got a question here in the chat box that relates to the bottom right, the online marketing instruction, and I know you touched on this briefly, but the question is basically it's a SEO versus SEM, and can you explain the difference there and how those work together?
Oh, absolutely, Ray. So, if you think of the Google result page after you've typed in a search term, the left-hand side are all the organic, natural listings. The right-hand side and the top are the sponsored, paid listings. They're the ads that advertisers have spent money on, whereas and they buy those results on an auction basis. They buy the word, boots or shirts or telephones or cars. Whereas the organic left-hand side listings, you don't bid on in a real-time auction format. Google display those, but they will display those websites that match the queries that people are typing in. And that's the distinction, right?
Great, thank you.
Once the website had launched, we put into place an affiliate marketing network. Affiliate marketing are contributes around 15 to 20% of all online sales. And you can see here that Jet.com is an affiliate partner of Panasonic Cloud. So you can actually buy the Panasonic Cloud phone unit and service from external online partners, which is known as affiliate partners. They receive a commission for passing the sale through to Panasonic. And often, once the website's launched, it's important to further the footprint, increase the number of players or partners that are promoting the website. And in this case, Search Forecast assisted Panasonic in finding some of these affiliate marketing partners.
Great, thanks. So in review, and to wrap this up, I have a quote from the dictionary, actually, of the definition of marketing, which I find very interesting. The action or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. And so I think it's very interesting that in that one short sentence definition of the word marketing, you find really everything that's been covered in this presentation and the work that was done to launch this product into the market. And you see what I see as a circular feedback loop that made this project successful, and that was myself speaking to customers directly, handling the inbound leads, developing outbound call campaigns, Marc Phillips on the web development and keyword content development, and Ray Mercedes inside Panasonic, who not only ran the launch from the Panasonic side, but was also our advocate, which made the product launch very successful. So you have, when the sales team is aligned, you have sales as part of the marketing team. The marketing gets the feedback they need. The sales folks get the quick response from marketing that they need. The product engineers have what they need in order to update the product as needed, and you also have the support in the last leg of the feedback loop. So Ray Mercedes, do you have any final comments then on really how the success of this program benefited the overall launch?
Well, I think that without a doubt, this was one of the most successful campaigns that we ran in part of our media strategy, and Marc really made us look like a superstar at Panasonic. From seeing where we were at the very beginning to seeing, the reports every 30 days, where we were indexing, what were the search, how that was converting into potential opportunities, and being able to translate it in a way that was simple for management to understand was awesome. So that being said, I appreciate, Marc, you making my team look like superstars.
No, and thank you. It's Panasonic's one of the, in as a multinational, I think Ray's like one of the top 100 firms. It's in some ways bureaucratic, in other ways very innovative. So navigating it with numbers and reports that were very measurable helped. Well, thanks to you, Ray, and for organising today. It's much appreciated, and I hope everyone enjoyed. Do we have any other questions?
Well, I do have one point to make, and that is good business relationships make good friends. So is there either one of you guys care to give me a story about this fine photo here?
I think, Ray Mercedes, we were both in Las Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show.
That's correct. Yeah.
And we decided to meet up on the balcony at the Bellagio Hotel and enjoyed, perhaps a celebratory lunch because of the $20 million run rate that we were able to assist Ray and his team execute on. So it was an enjoyable lunch, and thanks for getting. It was nice to get out of the Consumer Electronics Show. I think it gets pretty crazy there, right, Ray?
Absolutely. It was great, to catch up with you during this lunch and really talk about how new ways Panasonic could look at search to really help all of their ecosystems, right? Because as you know, Panasonic is a big channel company, right? And to a lot of channel partners that I come across, or big corporations that have big channel organizations, a lot of resellers, I always tell them, SEO should be part of your strategy. You should reach out to Marc Phillips. So I appreciate you, Marc, and thanks for picking up lunch that day, buddy.
All right.
Look forward
Thank you, Marc Phillips. Thanks, Ray Mercedes. And thank you to everyone who's joined. We will send this out via the archive and send the presentation out in a PDF. Thanks again, Marc and Ray, and thanks again for everybody who joined. Have a great day.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.